So I want to talk a little bit more about this whole Obama video controversy going on right now. I put out a video yesterday about it, but I kind of rushed that video out and I hadn't really thought things through, processed it all, digested it entirely. And since then, I've had a new thought. And I hope you stick around because it's something that I haven't seen anyone anywhere talking about. And I think it's meaningful. Just to get you up to speed, if you're not aware, I'm sure you are. On Friday, I believe, Donald Trump shared a, frankly, completely racist video on Truth Social. Basically, a AI animation that depicted Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as apes, superimposed their faces on the bodies of apes, dancing around in the jungle and all that. At first, he brushed it off and said, "No, I didn't make a mistake. All just fine there. Nothing wrong with that." Of course, there was backlash. The very next day, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt was coming out and basically saying, "Oh, it's just a funny little meme. It meant nothing. It's a pleasant little video of various Democrats dancing around in the jungle, and nothing wrong with that. You know, focus on something else." Of course, that didn't fly for very long, and shortly thereafter, they took down the post and have since blamed a White House staffer. Of course, they have. Since then, Trump has refused to apologize. We can talk about that later. But I put the video up yesterday basically expressing how, I don't understand why anyone would be surprised about this. This is par for the course. This is textbook Donald Trump. But I won't belabor that point because I kind of went on a lot about it yesterday. And stick around for my new thought because I think it's pertinent. First, though, I have had a few comments on that video. And I'm curious to know what you think. There's two of them I want to address. And, let me know what you think. So the first one was, do you think it's possible he thinks this is actually a distraction from other horrible things he is tied to? Rather astute observation, of course. Yes, of course it is. I think everything he does is a distraction. I think his modus operandi is just to pound the world with so much garbage that no one can really keep up with it or keep tabs and keep track of what he's doing and what he's saying, so he can just do and say anything. So absolutely, yes, it's in part a distraction. The next comment I had that really caught my eye, and I don't want it to sound the wrong way, I am actually curious. It was a comment here, let me just find it here. Okay, so the comment was saying to me, although the video is distasteful, I think you don't know the definition of racist. I found this kind of shocking that somebody would say that to me, and not in a bad way. And frankly, to be fair, very diplomatic, very polite, nothing aggressive in tone or anything like that. That's the extent of the comment. But I was stunned to hear somebody think or say to me that based on that video, I don't know the definition of racist, or that the video itself that Trump posted on Truth Social, that video or the content isn't racist. Frankly, from my perspective, I think it's 1000% racist. The point I tried to make, I commented back, but the point I tried to make is that even if you want to argue whether or not putting various people's faces on random animals is a racist thing to do or not, I think historically, racists have, in the past, depicted people of color as primates. So I think in this day and age, putting out a video that while there may have been other characters, but big surprise, the Obamas were the characters who were the apes. I think that putting out that video, even if you want to argue that the imagery itself, in and of itself, is not racist, historically, that type of imagery is without a doubt racist. So I am curious. I've asked since why this person thinks that I don't understand the definition of racist. Haven't got a response yet. We'll see. But I'm curious what you think. Anyway, I hope you've stuck around for this part because I think this is the juicier nugget. My new thought on the whole thing. Yesterday, I talked about various elements about it being, why are people shocked? This is par for the course for Donald. And whether or not, either he or some staffer were just stupid. Was it an error? Did he post it? Did the staffer post it? There's a whole big debate going on right now. Was it him or was it the staffer? Frankly, I think obviously it was him, and I do think it was him. I think that's worse, but even if it was a staffer, that means you have either completely incompetent staffers that you've hired on your staff, or potentially completely racist staffers on your staff, even if it wasn't Trump himself, because he did repeatedly say he approved the post and has since refused to apologize about the post. Anyway, point I was trying to make in this video. My new thought on this. I think it was intentional. I do think Donald himself probably posted it. At a bare minimum, he approved someone else posting it. And I think whoever it was, whether it was Donald or an assistant, a staffer, I think they knew exactly the reaction that would happen. You'd have to be a complete idiot to think you can put a video like this up on the President of the United States Truth Social page and broadcast it to the world and think that no one would find this wrong. Of course they would. You'd have to be a complete fool to think that. So I think it was intentional. And here's why. Trump has kind of backed down recently for two reasons. Trump has kind of backed down to a degree in Minnesota and with the whole ICE thing. He's backed away. He's not being as vocal about it. They're, at least outwardly, the White House reining it back in, firing people, putting new people in charge, and on and on and on. So it's kind of a loss for him, particularly for his MAGA crowd and, his most vociferous MAGA cult members who love that ICE stuff, love snatching immigrants off the street and separating families and kids from their parents and shipping them off to other countries. They think that's just great. So Trump has suffered a loss recently for that. So I think to some degree, this is a dog whistle out to that crowd to say, I'm still here. And even though I'm pulling back a little on Minnesota right now, these are the kind of things, I want to share with you. And just so you know, I still believe in this kind of thing. I think it's a complete dog whistle to, and I hope this is not bad saying it, the white supremacy element of the MAGA masses, and they are out there without a doubt. And it's to let the MAGA cult know he's still all over. Barack Obama was born in a different country, and all these immigrants and Muslims got to go, and they've been robbing us, and they're all criminals and they're violent. And I think this video being put up there was to say that, to let everybody know I'm still here, still got your back, MAGA. And I don't think it should be lost, because this only occurred to me after I posted yesterday's video. February is Black History Month. And he put this video up in the first couple days of February. And I can't help but think that was intentional. Because surely to God, someone in the White House would have known it's Black History Month, and maybe it's a bad idea to put up a video depicting a former president, the first ever African-American or Black president of the United States, depicting him and his wife as apes. And that'll just fly and no one will care. I mean, I know they're incompetent. I know they're cruel, and not Obama, but the current administration. But I don't think they'd be that stupid. I think they knew full well, we're going to put this video up. There'll be a big old backlash. Tomorrow we'll take it down. No harm, no foul. No one can do anything to us anyway. But at least we'll send a little signal to the MAGA base. Anyway, that's my new theory. Let me know what you think. Am I way off base? I mean, can this whole thing, can this just be incompetence or a mistake or a staffer who went rogue? Or is it possible it's actually a little more nefarious than that, and that this was actually intentional? Let me know what you think. I wanted to get that out there and share this thought with you. Let me know also what you think about the comments you're seeing on the video too, from yesterday. Am I wrong? Is the video itself not racist in some way? I don't see it, but I'm open to hearing other people's perspective. And if you can convince me, by all means. I doubt it. All right. I'm out of here for tonight.